Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Dragon Warrior 3 for the Nintendo Entertainment System. Last episode we stopped right outside this lake where we were told that there might be a travel door to another continent, so let's go exploring. So we talk with this guy here, and what's he going to tell us? This is a cave of enticement, but the stairway is sealed off by a wall. So this is where we need that magic ball. We just go and select it from our inventory, we use it, and it'll destroy that wall. If you look at special items, and they basically say, like, you know, the shopkeeper won't be able to determine. That means that you can't sell it as a special item. So we set up the magic ball and it destroys the wall. If we go back and talk with that guy, his dialogue will change just a little bit. The wall has already been broken. All right. So let's head on down. We got enough antidote herbs and some medical herbs. So this is kind of a short cave, but enemies appear in really large groups. So to the left is where we need to go, but there's a hole blocking the way. If you fall in any holes, you end up in this area here, and you have to just go up these staircases, and it'll take you back to basically where the beginning was. So obviously you want to avoid all those holes. We had like a little step ladder, like in Zelda. We can just cross those holes real quick, but we got to take the long way around. So, new enemy here, the demon anteater. They're probably one of the easier enemies in this area because they only attack. But like I said, a lot of enemies in here come in large groups. So. There's some other new enemies here. The scorpion wasps can numb you with their physical hits. Numb means you can't act during that round and subsequent rounds. Eventually it wears off just by walking on the field, or if you have a full moon herb, you can use that to take off the numb status. Then you have these new spiked hairs. They're probably the most annoying enemies because they can cast the sleep spell, which you see they just did. And it seems to be pretty accurate. A lot of times it's going to put about most of our characters to sleep. Seems like it's greater than 50%. I didn't. Yeah, I showed you that. See the little arrow above where you can attack the enemies? If you I didn't bring it up because it wasn't an issue until it won't be an issue until a little bit later. But one status ailment that enemies can use on you is the confused status. And if you confuse, the only way to remove the confusion status is to hit the party member. So in order to hit your own party members, you select that arrow above the enemies' names, and then you can select one of your characters in the party. So it's a good way to get a non-confused character unconfused, otherwise they'll just keep damaging you over and over and over again, so. Alright, finally took care of those bunnies. And Sadie gains another level. And Sadie the merchant gains levels really, really quick compared to everybody else. Which is good, because then eventually, like I said, and she gains that extra gold, so she's a good kind of starter class. Like I said, in the middle of the game she gets obsoleted because she can no longer use like really good equipment, but by that point in time we will have the ability to change classes, so we'll change her to a different class. In some of the remakes, the merchant has a few extra abilities. They have like a dig ability that can, like dig up treasure. They have a call ability which can call shops outside in like dungeons and stuff. It's potentially even something that's calling in. And I think they have a... no, I was going to say, I think they had a thing up. That's the thief class. They have a thing that lowers encounters. The goof-off in the remakes gets a whistle spell that increases encounters. It's kind of like the silver harp in the first game. You can whistle and it'll summon an encounter. It's a good way to, level up quick. So yeah, they added a few new things to the remakes. Maybe I'll play a remake eventually one of these days, but I have all these other games I gotta get through first. So Dragon Quest, we made Dragon Quest 1 and 2 a lot easier. 3, I think they got some new classes, but they added some extra bonus dungeons and stuff to make it, I guess, a little harder. So, they're all on the Game Boy Color, so I'd be able to play them because I have the Super Game Boy. Another big attachment for the Super Nintendo. So, oh, we got to go all the way around the outside here because it can never be easy to make it. They got to make these dungeons long. So, luckily there's not a lot of new enemies in here. We kind of fought most of them already. Like I said, the worst ones are the hares because they can put you to sleep. And they're really annoying when they're with the moths because the moths can. Cast the surround spell while you're sleeping, and then when you wake up, you're like, oh man, your characters ain't gonna be able to hit. In that instance, then that's when you might want to use like Prince Ernie's Blaze spell, because the surround spell doesn't affect the accuracy of magic. So we got a magic knife there. It's a little bit better than the copper sword, so we could give that to our merchant, and then pass the copper sword down to Indy the goof off. But what's it called? Tennison has already used up all her magic points, so we need to have her be able to do something. So giving her the magic knife allows her to be useful in some of these battles, so she can still hit a little bit. Plus, we're all going to upgrade our weapons anyway soon in the next town. So we just want to make sure we have a little bit of money, because we're going to do some gambling in the next town, which is kind of close. Now this area here, there's 3 passages. The left and the right, the center and the right take you to dead ends. So we want to make sure we go down the left, and that'll take us to our travel door. As you can see, the encounter rate is pretty high in this thing, so even though it's a short dungeon, it's important that we had all those medical herbs, the antidote herbs. And that little whirlpool is like the travel door. We just step inside of it, and it warps us. In this case, it's going to warp us over to a new continent, Romaly. And it's going to be, I said that the world looks like the world map from Earth. And this is basically like in Rome, it's in Italy. You got a little Buddha in Europe type area, so. I'm going to use the key again. Head on over. And we just step out here once we get into the grass. We're back on the overworld. And we have a all new bunch of enemies in this area. Luckily we didn't run into any. And here we are in the town of Romaly, the castle town of Romaly. Welcome to the castle town of Romaly. I'm going to make sure we're going to stay at that inn real quick. It seems that the brave heroes will soon come from Aliahan to defeat the Archfiend. So these people know about the Archfiend, while the others really kind of didn't. I just can't believe that the Archfiend will conquer the world. Stay. Yep. Stay in bed down, because we need to definitely heal up after all that adventuring we did through that cave of enticement. Alright, there's a soldier down here. We don't want to miss him. What's he have to say? The king here blows hot and cold. I'd be careful. So the king has a fickle kind of attitude. What's this kid saying? You guys hail from Aliahan. I could tell right away. So you have an accent. Not over this way. There's the castle. We'll let into it a little bit. We're gonna explore the south here a little bit first. So we have the tool shop there, and we have a weapon shop. A lot of good equipment here, and the equipment that we don't, we're gonna still save up because there's a town to the north of here that has other good equipment too. So stop dealing tools. We're gonna buy eventually 2 wings of the wyvern because we're gonna want to fly back to get a second turban. Because that's the best headgear that we're going to have for Sadie and Indy in a while. So, we'll sell a few things here. We're going to sell. I'm going to transfer a little bit of stuff around. Because we're not gonna sell some of this equipment because some of the new armor that we're going to get, we're not gonna have to go outside and fight for gold. We're gonna be getting gold from the casino downstairs. So I'll show you how that works in a little bit. We won't need that mag knife because it's a good weapon, but we're gonna get a special weapon soon in the next town. Although we're gonna kind of be bad and steal it, but yeah, look at all the good stuff. Get an iron spear for a goof off for Indy, Sadie, and Prince Ernie will both get broadswords. Armor-wise, not too much good there, because there's gonna be half plate and better shields in the next town. So this fight ring is only for monsters. We can talk with this guy, and he gives us for 5 gold. He gives us what he thinks the odds are. They don't always write though, so he's trying to concentrate. Watch the ticket. We buy a ticket to the shop to the left. The ticket prices cost your character's, the lead character's level times 10. So tickets for us are going to cost 80. Got nothing going right with him today. So if we switch characters around, say we put Ernie in the front, it would be 60. If we put Tennison, it would be 70. You buy the ticket, and then you get, they have these monsters that fight each other. So let's put it on the Scorpion Watch, like that one guy said. And they're the odds. So if we win, we'll get 80 times 3.2 gold. And that's how we can build up some gold pretty quickly. So let's see, once you start, the battles just, you just have to wait for the battle to go. Now some battles, they last really, really long. If they last really, really long, it'll say this battle ends in a draw. And then you get your money refunded. So it looks like we chose poorly and the Anteater won, so we lost that 80 gold. But that's okay, because we're going to cheese the game a little bit, because we're in a castle town, so there's going to be a king here that we can save. So what we can do is we can go up to the king, save our game, and then come down and bet. If we win, we can go save our game again, and then keep that money. If we lose, we can just reset, and that way we never really lose. We just lose some time, so. The far north of this castle is the village of Nave. And that's where we can get some good armor, like half-plate armor, some different shields, and that'll be basically the upgraded armor for our characters. But we can upgrade weapons here in Romaly. That'll definitely make things, because enemies on this continent are much, much tougher. So, you got a guy in jail here, let's talk with him. He'll give a little bit of a clue up to kind of a mini quest. There's 2 quests on this thing that we don't necessarily have to do, but we're going to want to do them because, 100%ing the game, and it'll give us some good treasures and a way to build our levels up. But the main thing we want to do eventually is get the magic key. That's the way to move forward. Cantor is supposed to be living in the Tower of Champagne and gathering accomplices. I wonder if he's still there. We'll learn more about Cantor in that tower in a little bit as we talk to people. But mainly to progress with the story, we need to get a boat. We can get a boat in, like, where Spain is in the real world. But in order to get there, we need a magic key. Get the magic key, which opens doors like that gray one there. We have to go down to Egypt, to the pyramid, and find it there. So that's all you have to do, but there's 2 little mini-quests here. First one I'm going to learn about is Candor. He's like a thief, and he stole this king's crown. So we can get the crown back. My son loves having a good time. That hasn't changed since he's become king. We're in deep trouble. And then there's a village to the north, beyond Naves, that it was put to sleep by elves, so it's like a little mini, like, love tragedy story there. We can uncover and get that village uncursed. Neither of them are necessary to defeat the game, they're little side quests, but like I said, they add to the game, and just fresh out the wool a little bit here. There are terrible monsters in the east. First, it's best to head north to test out our skills. And it's also going to be good to head north to, like I say, get that better armor. So, let's talk with all the guards here. Do we hail from Aliahan? Yes, we do. There's a guy over here to the left. Talk with him, a boy. His Highness is anxiously awaits you. We'll keep him waiting just a little bit longer. Numbers will heal by itself if you just wait, but if you use the full moon herb, it'll heal right away. So, you gotta get those full moon herbs. We can get them in this town and in the next few towns. if you're like near a town, you can just, if you're numbed, you can just walk into the town and walk off the numbness in town. Please ignore our king's request. Unless the princess say, I hear Aliahan is a beautiful place. I'm sure the people there have beautiful hearts too. Well, thank you. I welcome you. I've heard tell of the brave hero Tega. So Ernie's pretty close to a level up there. So is Tennison. Just like I said, we can save our game. And if we say that we want to continue our thing, then he tells us about Candor. Someone named Candor has stolen the golden crown from the castle. If you fetch that, I will acknowledge you as a true hero. Go then, Prince Ernie. You can actually get the crown. It's a really good piece of headgear. It's probably the best piece of headgear for wizards and for most of the game. And you could keep that crown and just use it on your wizard. Give them good defense. But we'll eventually just give the crown back. So we'll get some special headgear for our wizard then. But that'll be in the next episode. Between episodes, I'm going to do some gambling and get the money I need for that new equipment. Take care. See you then. Bye.